probably had on the side of professional 9-ball outside of the U.S. Open. Completely different events, but both at the elite level and enjoyable in that fact. They are turning the lights down, Carl. They're going to make the arenas really stand out. Clinching, reminiscent of the U.S. Open performance. He looks like the best player, possibly.
Yeah, he's been absolutely flawless. And if you missed the action on the evening session, well, Louise lost the opening 2 matches to the Cobras, but just look at that. All the number 5s are on the right side for the Cobras. That's the first semi-final at the bottom. It's Clinching versus Shane van Boening. Over to table 2. Filler got the 2 wins, then Gorst over Compagnie, and our second semi-final, Joshua Filler against the other co-brother, Compagnie. Well, what 2 semi-finals we've got lined up here, Scott, haven't we? And fantastic achievement for both co-brothers to be still here.
Yeah, it's got to be said that the whole way through this event, those 2 players were neck and neck. It wasn't like one of them ran ahead of the other one. They both played solid all week, and they both deserve to be in the top 4 spots.
Yeah, they do. Well said. Listen, let's get to the action. This is what we've been waiting for. 8 days here at US 1 Billiards. Loads of racks of 9-ball, loads of matches. Each player has played 29 matches to get to this point.
Yeah, Carl, I feel like I've played about 100 matches. We've put the work in this week, and it's been so much fun. The crowd is excited, and so are we. This is what it's all about.
Here's the lag for break.
Mr. Filler wins the lag. Mr. Van Boening. I apologize. Mr. Van Boening wins the lag.
Well, the referee's getting a little bit excited.
Yeah, they've been almost perfect this week, hence almost.
Okay, it's a race to 7. SVB will start the first semi-final on table 1. Compagnie will start the second semi-final on table 2.
Oh, and that's the break right there, Carl. That is the break. He's got a good shot on the 2. The pink 4 down here might have an issue with the 8. He can manage.
Well, we've seen the balls of the pool tables in the background where the fans have been playing, clattering about. Everyone's been enjoying this pool room vibe. That's why the Premier League was brought to a pool room. All the lights have been switched off. It's deadly silent.
Yeah, the tension in here is real, and I know my colleague has mentioned it. It's a race to 7. I'll say it one more time. It's now a race to 7. Has he fallen a little flat? Does he need to punch below the purple 5 and take his chances? That's what he's going to do. Well, he's caught it. He got a little flick on the 5, and it's helped him.
Still got a bit of work to do here. Big favourite to make the combo, but it's getting the cue ball and the pink 4 to dress up nicely for the next shot.
Yeah, it looks like he might draw backwards.
Yeah, well said, Scott. He did that to give himself a better chance of landing on that pink 4 ball.
So, big shot here coming up for SVB. Top left corner. Well, that's a good sign, Carl. Right down the middle.
Doesn't matter how many matches Shane's played this week. He's been relentless on the practice table. Knocking that 4-ball in this first semi-final does anyone the world of good.
Another big shot. He's hit it clean. Notice these balls going in the middle. Is he up for the challenge? We know he wants to win. He's given it everything he's got this week, and then some. I've never seen anybody practice like this man has this week, and I know you haven't either. It's been astonishing.
It's been wild, Scott. It's been absolutely madness. I didn't think things like that could happen. You know, go get yourself a bit of dinner, chill out. Not for Shane.
No, it was really staggering. Never left the building. Never left the practice table. Up and down, confident stroke. Looking good in game number 1.
SVB with a beautiful clearance here in the opening rack.
And there you get a good look at the room, and we've got to look at table 2. Filler versus Koping Yi. This is also a race to 7, right, Carl? And it's simultaneous with table 1.
Yeah, you got to make sure you pot the ball there. It's easy to forget about the 7 because you know the cue ball's going into the 9. Fillers. Well, he's one of the greats, so you don't expect him to fall down in that department. Needs to get a bit of power into this cue ball though. It's going to be going forward. Looks like Filler is going to get the job done over on table 2, the first rack. And he does. If you want to see how that match goes, we will keep going back and forth to it, but you can watch it live, Matchroom Multisport, on YouTube.
Wow. It's a little steep on the 2, but you can't ask for much more. 6 finished a little funny. I've really enjoyed watching Koping Chung play this week. He really stands out when he's playing good, and I haven't really seen him play bad since he won the U.S. Open, Carl.
Yeah, he's really moved into the top tier bracket. Me and JJ had this chat in the last match. Just a real smooth operator. Needs a little bit of luck here.
Yeah, do you think he played to go into the 3, or did he try to come up and down?
Yeah, it's not often 9-ball pool players start crashing into balls if they can avoid it. So you have to feel like that positional shot did go wrong. I don't believe he can cut this ball in. Looks very thin. Well, he probably could.
Yeah, and the shot clock, a factor. He's going to take his extension. I thought there on the blue 2, going back to it, I thought he could spin into the 6 softly and move the 6 up and get a shot on the 3 in the lower right. But that's long past us now. He's going to play the defensive side. He's going to the air again, Carl.
Do you think he's going into the ball? It's not often you play the kick and stick with the jump cue, is it? The ball's bouncing.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go into the ball. I did say I think if there was anything Shane suffered with this week, it was probably the jump cue. It seems like the accuracy is just a little bit off. I want to catch that full, I think, and get distance. Not easy by any means, though. Little Co. Going to be queuing over the 9. He just constantly seems to come with the big shot, though.
Ooh, that's a little wide, isn't it? That's worrying for the back arm. That kind of throw your body at them when the ball hits where it did.
Wow, Joshua Filler. He's human, Carl. He missed the 8 and left it right here in the pocket.
Yeah, so Coping Yi looks like he's going to get a little freebie. That's the beauty of 9-ball. You can pot all the balls. You can miss one near the end. Your opponent just steps up, pots a couple of balls, and wins the rack.
Yeah, that's how we like to play, Carl. Just lay him up for us and we'll clean it out. SVB got to get on the 5 correctly for the green 6. Needs to carry.
Do you think he'll go below the 8 off the back rail, or can he just draw over?
Yeah, it's a good question. It all depends, but he's going to do what you said. This is still a tester. He'd like to have been a little more straight. You can see here, though, the 6 isn't frozen. That makes this ball a lot easier.
Yeah, if the 6 balls touching the rail, it can be an awful shot to play, can't it, Scott?
Yeah, things nightmares are made of. But that's past him. Wow. He's fallen flat again here, or the forward angle. He didn't want it. You can see he's not thrilled about it. He's going to have to keep this pace up. He knows little Co is right behind him, and this needs to keep the pace up.
It's a little bit short, but it's more than achievable. He can afford to glance the rail as well at this angle. Doesn't need a rail. These balls are going into the heart of the pocket. SVB, he has this ability to zone in when it matters, and this matters is semi-final action.
One game apiece here on table 2. Big Co on the blue 2. Might be going at this in the lower right. Notice the 3 up top. Okay, he's going to stitch him up behind the 9. And what great speed that was. I thought he might be able to play a 2-way to the lower right, send the cue ball up table because of the red 3. But he knows better.
Yeah, he's got the brake dialed down as well. Scott needs a bit of luck here. It's not happened.
And this is something that's happened to many of the players. They'll get the brake down. The 2's random, but a lot of times this week we've seen it finish magically right by the cue ball.
Yeah, you often see Shane tinker with the brake. He can brake at a medium pace. He can brake hard. Sometimes he uses his playing cue like he just did in that break.
Oh, very well observed. And you typically don't want to see, or the players don't like to push out when they're so close to the object ball in order. But this might be one of those situations. He's going to play his extension.
Trying to find the window and bounce the 2-ball back out. This is a good shot.
Yeah, very good shot. He was aware of where the 3 was, right? So if he didn't get the snooker, things would still be a little bit difficult for him.
Yeah, they're touchy little shots then. When you're just trying to float up in between a gap, it's easy to dig into the cue ball.
Good look at SVB right there as well. Esco gets ready to jump at the 2.
How's he going to finish? It's not going to finish too good.
Yeah, I saw a video on YouTube yesterday of Shane practicing this bank on these tables in here. Not saying he's going to take it on. I don't know if there's any value to it anyway. But U.S. Open bank pool winner, U.S. Open one pocket winner just a few weeks ago. He could definitely bank this in. Looks like he might be cutting it, Carl. Well, he has banked it in. He got the rub on the pink. He will have a shot on the 3, Carl.
It's a big shot to have in your locker, the bank shot. A lot of players are good at the bank shot, but Shane's one of these guys who he knocks them in consistently. Surely he's not going again. Can cut it in the corner. Oh, he's overcut it, Scott. You could see as soon as the cue went through.
Yeah, it looked like his arm dropped just a fraction. All that is 8 straight days of pool and a lot of balls hit. Just maybe a little fatigue. I think there's going to be some fatigue from all 4 of these guys, to be honest. And that's part of what this event's all about.
Well, let me tell you, there's some fatigue in the comms box, Scott. It's been a long old week.
Well, look at where the 8 is finished. Making things a little bit more difficult. He's got a huge pocket down here on the lower left with the 7.
He's having none of it, Scott. He's playing safe.
I think he's playing the combo.
No, he's playing safe.
Well, you're right. Fatigue in the comm box is real.
Not only is he playing safe, he's playing safe. Look at this one. But he has left a 2-rail kick in behind the 4-ball. Kick and stick coming up. May even pot it in the left middle. Probably doesn't want to.
He's caught it too thin. And that shouldn't work out for SVB. Is the 8 in play here? He'd like to come 3 rails. Oh, just misses it. Very, very nice. He's getting the extension out. Cue ball barely got there for the 5. I think if he hits it any harder, he might go into the 8. That was the concern.
Played the bump. Didn't really have much option. And it doesn't look like it's come out great. Maybe able to go rail first, Scott.
Yeah, he might be able to play the carom as well. 6 is close to frozen. Let's see what he decides.
Where's the cue ball?
did he play the 6 through the 7? What a clever shot.
Key to this shot is to make sure you stay very still, because you want the cue going through straight, in a straight line through the cue ball. Job well done.
Yes, it was. Clinching looking to get on the board. He's missed the 9, and it's laid up in front of the middle, Carl. Wow.
If you do not get good on the 9 ball, now and again at certain points of your career, you will miss balls. He didn't even hit a single jaw there, Scott. He missed that by a mile. Look where the 9 ball has finished. SVB with a freebie. And it is a freebie. How big of a moment have we got here? We've seen Clinching play 8 days of perfect pool, and he's just missed one of the easiest 9s of the week. It's SVB 3, Clinching 0. This is table 2 action. Clinching is at the table. He's currently leading Joshua Filler 2-1. Needs the cue ball to keep running. It's a little bit short. It's live on Matchroom Multisport. It's also a race to 7, and just look at the crowd. You can see in the distance all the pool table lights have been switched off. All eyes are on these semi-finals, and doesn't matter where you sat. It's like a VIP ticket. That was what was being offered for this year's Premier League pool, and that gives you the best seat in the house for both tables.
Yeah, Carl, and I think for the last minute and a half, you and I have kind of been stunned. I don't think that it was anything serious on the 9 that he missed. I think it was just a slight lack of concentration, and that's all it takes on these tables, and that just gives you an idea how great these guys have been playing. Clinching, the last guy on earth we thought would miss that 9.
Yeah, it just kind of come from nowhere, didn't it? I mean, Shane's obviously played awesome the first 2 racks, and Clinching took out a nice finish. And the 9 ball that he missed, well, he's got to regroup. Anyway, Big Bro, he's doing okay on the other table. 3-1 up over Filler now.
Yeah, and I expect him to regroup. That's what they do. That 9 is forever forgotten, at least for right now.
Well, is he looking at a 2-7 combo? This is not easy if he is, believe me. Oh, wow. That was special.
And what better way to redeem yourself mentally and physically?
It'd have been very easy for Ko to turn down that shot, play something different, maybe even play a push out just because of the previous shot in the 9. But what he's done there is he showed a lot of heart, and he's trying to get back into this semi-final. He's got time because it's now a race to 7.
Yeah, and let's not forget, last game Shane missed the 3. So besides the 9 that was given up to him, the last ball that he played, he missed. So both of these players having their ups and downs in this match. Clinching looks to be right back on track. I love to watch his delivery, Carl, going through the ball. He's got a special way about him.
Slightly overrun the cue ball here. If he was a little straighter, guaranteed position onto this 8 ball. Now he's got to leave himself something where his mind, it will be thinking about that 9 ball.
Yeah, and I think he can reach it okay. Yeah, he can dig down on this good. It looks like he's going to come 2 rails tight for the 9 in the lower right. He's missed this as well. This is back-to-back massive misses.
I didn't like the shot on the 8, Scott. I think you should float it for the 9 in the same pocket. I just didn't like this.
Yeah, and it's probably a personal preference shot. But shocking that he's missed these 2 balls this poorly.
Just shows you, though, the cue ball's usually so good. He landed a little bit funny on that 6 ball. He couldn't get straight or just off straight on the 8. He had to leave himself that little tester. Baby Ko, well, he's going through the motions at the minute.
And this is a big shot for SVB. He's got to keep him covered up here. And he's gotten past the side, which is important. I don't know if he's got him completely snookered.
Well, I think he's played a real good safety shot there. I don't believe many players would play it that way, Scott.
Yeah, and his intention was to definitely get it past the side so that little Ko couldn't jump it in the right middle. He's used that bare ball well, the 9. He could make this. Yeah, I had the feeling he could make that ball. That's what champions do. Made a couple easy mistakes. He was just a fraction off.
Yeah, as soon as I seen the 8 ball tracking, Scott, I thought he'd made that jump shot. That was a nice shot on the cue ball from Shane to leave himself this 9 ball where there's no danger.
Yeah, and a couple small gifts for SVB.
Well, Scott, I'm sure SVB is as shocked as the rest of us in this building. This match could have easily been 2-2, but it's not. It's 4-0 to Captain America. Over on table 2, well, complete different contrast because Clinching, well, he doesn't seem to be having a mare like that man, his younger brother. What must he be thinking sat in that chair, Scott? He's played so much pool, he's been brilliant.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything like this from him all week, and I've never seen a sign of negativity. He's kind of slumped. You've got to believe that he's tired, okay? We always go to that, but you've got to believe it. This man has played like perfect pool for the last year. So a little shocking to us, but it's also kind of relieving to us, right? And for everybody at home. He's human. We're all human. And SVB, well, he'd like to break and run here and get a big lead.
Nineball's close. The bumblebee nearly went into the side pocket.
Yeah, and it was extremely close. Got the kiss from the cue ball. Well, the bank is covered up, Carl. Well, the purple 5. Is he going to come below the 3? Looks like he might be. I was wondering if that laid okay.
I think he's good there, Scott. I think he's good. This will give us a better feel of it. Just watch where the cue ball comes to rest. Is it touching the 4?
Yeah, and that's the kind of shot you've got to be at the table at. You've got to really feel it. It's got to be laying correct to get that object ball out of the way.
10.
Took a chance. Needs some help off the pool gods.
And Shane gives him the tap of approval. Sometimes you've just got to fram at it.
Is it possible to get the cue ball in behind the 9 here, Scott?
I don't know. I'm wondering if he's...
He may have a go at it, you know. Well, he's tried to get behind the 9 like I thought.
Yeah. Reminiscent of the shot David Alcady shot early in this event.
A pool player, they don't miss a trick. Look at the 8 ball we have just witnessed over on table 2. What is going on with the Cole brothers?
Well, could it be contagious? I mean, you've got to believe that they both know what's going on with each other. That can't be easy. And I've never seen Filler miss an 8 like that in my life. So what's going on in the building? Are you still with us, Carl?
I'm in shock. Ko Pin-chung and Joshua Filler and Ko Pin-yi are 3 of the best pocketers in the sport of 9-ball. Some of the balls we have seen miss so far. I don't know if it's because the event has took a slightly different dynamic. You know, we've gone to a race to 7. They've been playing all week. All the lights have been switched off. We've gone from this busy pool hall noise to this like all eyes on the table. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. That's a very big possibility, Carl. That's actually a very big possibility. Everything's kind of changed in the room. You can feel the tension in the air, and I guarantee you the players can feel it as well. This isn't going to be any good for Ko.
Yeah, Shane Van Bonen's a different beast when he gets in front. He's one of the best front runners, along with Joshua Filler.
Yeah, you've talked about Filler out for blood when he smells it. Van Boening, no different.
Needs a little bit of help here, Filler. He's not going to get it. He's missed a big trick here. After Ko Pin-yi missed the 8 ball, Filler had a chance to get to just 1 behind as he missed the trick.
Yeah, a little weak from SVB. It's going to be okay. He's so close to the ball, so close to the side. Ko Pin-yi, 4-1.
Big moment there over on table 2.
Well, this looks thin, Carl, and he got so flat on the 4. Can he hold this? Somebody's phone went off in the background. I don't even know if Shane knows that or not. Really, the issue here is how steep he is on this 5.
Yeah, pool players were used to things like this. You know, we've been brought up in the pubs and the pool halls. The main thing is when something like that puts you off, you just get back up, reset, regroup.
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good from where he was. And it's going to finish on the bottom of the rail so he can go forward as well, Carl.
Yeah, he's made that shot look a lot easier than it was, hasn't he, Scott? You alluded to the fact that he was quite thin on the 5 ball. He's a man on a mission here. He is a man on a mission.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could have expected a 5-0 lead out of the gate in this race to 7. There was a little help. Obviously, a 9 missed by Coe was huge.
Well, this is going to be tough for Ko Ping Chung now. He might be the current US Open champ, but it's the 5-time champ who's showing him how it's done. It's 5-0 at the moment. Scott, we couldn't see this coming, could we?
No, didn't expect a couple of these misses that we've seen. We didn't expect a 5-0 lead either. I did expect SVB to really kind of step it up if he could. He squeaked in to the Final 4 and really wants to turn it on, wants to finish this event out in style. If he doesn't win, he doesn't win, but he wants to play good. He's just that type of guy. Did Filler come up short on the 8?
Yeah, Joshua Filler, he's just not quite at the races at the minute. I don't know what's going on, Scott. I really don't.
He really let up in that backswing there, and we talked about it all week. He's like the last guy that'll ever let up. Is he going at this? Oh, what a hit, Carl. What a hit.
That was thin. That was extremely thin.
Yeah, that might get him going.
Not clinical from Filler, but the score's 4-2 and there's no pictures on a scorecard.
Yeah, and then you get into this position. You're behind 5-0. You've got a tough shot to open this rack up. He's having a hard time getting set. But you feel he's got to be aggressive. Oh, very, very clean with the touch. To hold that cue ball was not easy.
Well, it's now or never.
Looking to come one rail up. Oh, and he's overstunned that ball. Did it get there? I don't believe it's gotten there. And the reason that that ball stopped where it did is that he hit too much high and too hard, right? The cue ball just kind of killed in the center. It's a medium hit that you've got to hit to get that ball down table to allow that cue ball to work. And this is really close.
Kick and stick.
Oh, what a play that was. What a play that was. Did not look like he had room to even get behind that ball.
There's Emily Fraser sat in Scott's chair. Scott's been sat there all week as well.
It's actually Jason Shaw's chair, but Jason hasn't been sitting in there all week. Oh, wow. How clever is this shot? How clever is this shot?
Look at this kick shot. Kicking it over towards the purple 5. The little flick on the green did help.
Yeah, but the speed he played it at tells me that he was trying to get the cue ball covered up.
He's trying to stop the cue ball where the pink ball is. This is not easy.
Oh, and a beautiful play here as well. I think it might leak out. Well, the point could have helped him, not certain.
I think SVB may be able to jump over the edge of the ball. He's not got much ball to fly over, Scott. You expect any player in the top 8 to get this close to the pocket.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to get it close. I have mentioned he's struggled with the jump cue. This is a sliver of a ball he's got to get over. Really, I think the only thing you can do wrong here, Carl, is over-accelerate or over-amp. Well, in this angle it looks tougher, but I think that's just the camera. Oh, he's really elevated. Might be tougher than we think.
Yeah, the angle that the 4 ball goes towards the pocket makes it a little bit bigger. I'm not saying he needed a bigger pocket. Here's the replay. No, that went in the heart of the pocket.
Yeah, no questions there. Notice the 8 below the lower left. He did knock it over there. And, you know, it's just one little thing that might dial him in. It could have been that kick. Could have been something much earlier. I'm sure he was up for the challenge before the match started. But sometimes he gets much more dialed as he goes. And that's who I'm seeing right now. This really bounced on him. Yeah, he did not want to be flat.
This has all of a sudden become extremely difficult. What's he playing here?
Might be amping this up.
Frosty, that was naughty. That was naughty pool.
It was a little naughty. And what do you do here? Do you amp this or do you just get the ball down? He's amping that stroke up again.
Well, you're seeing why Shane's won 5 US Opens. I'm not saying he's, you know, landed perfect on the 9-ball, but he's played 3 shots in this rack from the very top draw, Scott.
He's overstroked this ball. Well, he's pointed to the left middle. I think somebody should tell him he doesn't have to call it. And it's gone awry, Carl.
That will frustrate him because he knows he's come with some big shots in rack 6.
And a lot of you might think he could have cut that in the top left. The angle was much steeper than it looked on camera. We'll be right back, headed to a quick break.
Well, that is the face of a man who is winning. He's 5-1 up in this semi-final on table 1. He was 5-0 up. He pulled out some beautiful shots in the last rack, but missed the bank on a 9. That gives Clinching his first rack.
And he really just overamped the 8. He was feeling good. Ooh, got a bad kick from the 8. Come back to haunt him.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a push out here. Nineball went close again. Actually in the same spot.
With the same kiss.
Push. Push call.
And it looks like he's pushing to a jump.
Yeah, jump or a kick off one rail.
I mean, the jump doesn't look terrible, right? You're going to get distance. You can use a little cover. I don't know if he wants to draw this back or if he wants to just use the 6 and 7. Yeah, I don't know if he's right where he wanted to be. Because now he's considering the kick. Well, now he considered the jump again. 10 seconds. I think a lot of good things can happen from here.
Table 2 action. It's our second semi-final. Clinching is 5-2 up. He's jumping at the 2 ball. Oh, this will work out okay. This will work out okay. He holds the hand up. Filler is in big trouble.
He's lost the cue ball. In the top right corner. What's the 6 going to do? And work left for Van Boening.
Start the clock.
We alluded on this the other day with ball in hand here. Most players will follow with ball in hand to get to their position point. Just a higher percentage shot versus the draw. Easier to pinpoint the area of the cue ball. Immediately not thrilled with where he wanted to be.
What do you see with the 6 ball, Scott? Looks like there's issues for Shane.
Well, could you gamble? Draw out with the 3 and play the 4 off the 8, or do you not gamble? You can just leave the 6 where it's at, play some type of safety. You know, 5-1 lead seems big, but it's not big if you start making mistakes. He wanted a steeper angle maybe to come into the back of the 8, but the problem is he's going to have a long shot on the 5.
Big shot coming up for Shane. You could argue maybe it's the biggest shot of this match, because if he gets this one right and he gets a shot on the 6 ball, he could be about to go on the hill.
Oh, cleanly hit. Very cleanly hit. That sends a message to everybody in the room. You have to feel for Ko. He's played so good all week. To miss that 9, just so uncharacteristic. Absolutely stunned. Then followed up by a missed 8 ball. that you thought he played incorrectly when he tried to swing around. A lot of those guys do like to play that 8 with a low outside ball. You liked him floating it. Neither here nor there. SVB, he doesn't care.
Well, SVB is on the hill. Also on the hill is Ko-Pin Yi. Scott in a race to 7. Joshua Filler and Ko-Pin Chung, they have got their work cut out now, haven't they?
Yeah, they sure do. Kind of an unlikely position, I feel like, in both matches. I would have assumed these were both going to be closer matches. We've had a lot of close matches in the race to 5. A couple funny things have happened on both tables. Filler missing that 8 that you'd never dream. After a missed 8 by Ko-Pin Yi, handed it right back. The look of a man who's made many millions of Nineballs.
And dollars.
And dollars.
Well, he had an open look at the 2, and it wasn't going to be the most difficult of shots, but the 8 balls took a last roll. We'll see in a minute if that's going to make life real awkward, and it is.
Yeah, and typically he's great at this shot. In this scenario, let's see how he handles it. Look at how level he stays. What a play. What an absolute play.
To stay in this semi-final, that was a must-make shot.
And that's all fundamentals, right? Body's still lined up correctly. Went through the ball as good as you can. Everything stayed true to the line.
He'll go down fighting, Scott. He's not just going to, play 8 days, day and night, and just give up that easy. How different this match could have been, Scott, if he'd have potted a couple of balls that you don't expect him to miss.
Yeah, good point. Huge, huge swings in these shorter races. You know, the 8 and the 9. I mean, really, 4-game swings.
Still alive, Frosty. He is still alive.
Yeah, and anything can happen. We've seen it before. As 6-2 on table 2, Ko-Pin Yi looks like he's got ball in hand. The 5-8, the trouble balls in this rack. Does he want to get just below the 6? Well, this looks ideal.
Just look at where he's got the cue ball off the draw shot.
Rather go into the 5 than the 8 here, I believe. Could flick the 8 and open the 5 up. We'll get back to you on that. Back to table 1. Van Boening like to get this over with, Carl. Needs a break with a shot.
It would have been classic Shane to finish with a golden break.
And I don't know that he's going to stay aggressive here. Copigny still at the table, tells me he got those balls opened up. Here's a good look. He did go into the 5, not the 8.
Yeah, one good shot here for Copigny on the 6 ball.
Yeah.
Shane wants this to run past the 9, Scott, doesn't he? And he has done.
Yeah, you get the sense he wanted to get behind the 4 as well. I don't know if he could do both without threatening the 2 to the lower left a little bit more.
Cue balls just kept going for Co there. I suppose it's just make the ball. Cue ball looks like it's guaranteed to be on the 8. He can stun over or he can go forward off the top rail. He'll play it however he prefers to hit this type of shot. Oh, Scott. All because the cue ball landed right in front of the 9. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, drama left on table 2. Filler with 3 balls to clean up and get within 3. Tough position for Shane here. Wow, he used that corner pocket. Didn't want to catch the 9. As it turned out okay.
Well, Joshua Filler is surviving by the skin of his teeth. 6-3 down now over on table 2. Ko Ping Chung, rail first, trying to pot the ball. He's missed it. Needs a little bit of love.
Yeah, he's caught it just a fraction thicker than he expected. Very steep to the middle. Can be done. Well, that tells you how steep it was to the middle, and the cue ball was going the wrong direction. He just didn't like it all that much. That's why he played the cross side. A lot of people probably asking why he wouldn't play that to the middle. These side pockets are very, very small.
It's a big 6 ball. Ko Ping Chung locking SVB up.
Yes, he sure is. And this is a tough ball to jump. He has got to get way up. Oh, and he's going to get a little lucky here unless that wires up. A little fortunate there, Carl.
Yeah, we have a saying in the game, it pays to hit, and hit is what Shane did. I think regardless of what goes on from the remainder of this match, if Shane goes on to win, you know, Co's just got to be thinking about the 9 ball and that 8 ball.
Yeah, really, those are the game changers here in this match for certain if Shane goes on to win.
What do you put it down to, Scott? You know, he's played all week. Like I said, we've been telling you how many days we've been playing. This is day 8. You know, he's played the afternoon session and tonight's session played really well, and he's missed the 9 and the 8 ball just from kind of nowhere. Why? Why does that happen?
Well, I mean, first off, he and his brother are playing in the semifinals, right? And they're playing right next to each other. I don't think the importance has been like that all week. So once that shines and then one of them makes a mistake, they're going to know it, whether you think they're paying attention or not. So maybe that builds a little bit. But his brother's going on with it, Carl. He's going to beat Filler 7-3 if he gets this 9 down, and he has.
There's the fist pump, and there is our first finalist. It's going to be Coping Yeet against the winner of this match we are watching. Phil has played a great tournament. He'll be back as always, and it's another high finish for the young German.
Yeah, and obviously a favorite all week long, Joshua Filler. He didn't want to clip the 8.
Just shows you, Scott, at the top level, any little mistake, you know, poor safeties or a ball that you would expect to pot, you just get punished a lot, don't you?
I've been saying it all week, how great these guys are playing. The double kiss was the only thing that could save SVB, and he might have the carom here. The 9 might go in the lower left. Oh, he just had a look. SVB, is it possible? 9 in the lower right.
Could play the bank as well. He's playing the safe.
Oh, and that's a little higher percentage, obviously, if it doesn't scratch, but he's going to lose the cue ball, Carl.
Okay.
Start the clock, please.
It's a little bit unfortunate. The pocket is always there. It doesn't move. But all you can do is chip off it, Scott. Come to rails and hope you find the correct path.
And you can hear the mumbles of the crowd.
10.
Clinching did not win the US Open because he's got no heart. It was quite the opposite. He showed a lot of heart. And he's going to have to show heart to come back in this match.
Yeah, and he's going to need a little assistance from Shane, in my opinion, if the alternate break format continues, which it will.
I always think when you're down in a match like this, Scott, I don't think it's a case of thinking, well, I've got to win 5 racks. I think it's quite the opposite. I think it's more, well, if I win the next 2 and make it 6-4, my opponent's under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, at this point, he's probably playing with not much to lose. A little thick there. Caught the lower left side of that pocket.
Yeah, played it pro pace.
And you've got to wonder if it goes through his mind that it could be he and his brother in the final.
Well, Clinching is fighting hard. He's won another rack. It's SVB 6, Clinching 3. Well, the crowd have been treated all week to some fantastic pool, and they've had the best seats in the house. That just gives you an idea of what a VIP ticket got you here at US 1 Billiards. Look how close you are to the action.
Yeah, literally breathing over the table. Pretty sure everybody here this week has learned a thing or two. Clinching not out of the woods yet. Making a comeback. Watch the cue ball.
The pink 4-ball, is it touching the 5? We'll get a look in a moment from the overhead. If this pink 4 is touching the 5, it's going to be awkward.
Oh, wow, Carl. It looks like it might have glued up. It's never easy. See, looking at the 3-ball combination and to go forward.
I mean, there's a possible 2-9.
Oh, you called it. But boy, the middles are tight.
Well, I tell you what, Scott, this doesn't set up bad at all, you know. It does not set up bad at all. You know yourself, Scott, the issue is the fact that the 9 is further away from the pocket. So it always just changes the difficulty level of this combo.
SVB, the 2-9 combination to make the final.
He's made the final with a combo on the Bumblebee. And what a match. SVB, Scott, I thought he played tremendous in that semi-final. Here's another look.
Yeah, take a look at this. You called this shot, Carl, and I think it's the right shot. That 3-ball combination just wasn't really the deal. He played great this match. He's earned it, and we're looking forward to a killer final.
Yeah, it will be a killer.
Soon, right, Carl?
Yeah, sorry, Scott. I was just going to say he's beat one co. He's got to beat another up
yeah,
next.
That's a good point.
We've got the final coming up after a short break. It's going to be SVB versus Ko Pin Yi. Welcome back to US 1 Billiards. If you've been joining us all week long, it's all about to come down to this. What a week it's been. Joining us back in comms, Captain America, Double J, Jeremy Jones, JJ. 2 fantastic semi-finals. We've got our 2 finalists.
Yeah, absolutely. The real Captain America is one of those finalists, SVB, against our defending Whirlpool Masters champion and, of course, former world champion Ko Ping-yi.
Yeah, let's just have a look at the results. If you missed it, well, Ko Ping-yi, he got the better of Joshua Filler over on table 2. Filler, not quite the races, missed a couple of balls, and it looked like Ko Ping-yi played very solid indeed. And I'm sure you've just watched the match me and Scott brought to you. Well, it was Shane Van Boening against Ko Ping-chung. Ko Ping-chung missed one of the easiest 9 balls he's missed all week. Then he missed an 8 ball, just completely just out of sorts in the semi-finals. Quite bizarre. Shane played a solid match. He looked really up for it when he took a 7-3 victory to book his place in the final. Okay, JJ. This is a tough one to call, just like both semi-finals.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one to call. Sorry watching the guys get that picture, but, I mean, you got to give a little edge to Shane maybe here. He seems rejuvenated after making this Final Four, maybe just kind of relaxing and taking it off the last few matches there in the group stage.
Okay, this is what we've all been waiting for. Both players have played 30 matches this week. This is their 31st. It's the final. It's a race to 7, and it's going to be SVB to break.
Yeah, I don't suspect he'll change much. We haven't really seen the lashing of the balls like SVB is capable of, but it's been solid stuff, and he's been on a run of late, and he wants to keep it going.
Looks like it's going to be okay. It's going to be a shot on the 2. There's a bit of work to get on the red 3.
Yeah, he's got to be happy to see the 1 go down and get some kind of look at the 2. And I really don't think Shane minds if it's an offensive shot or a defensive shot, just as long as he has some opportunity after the break. He's got to play a nice one here to hit that gap to fall on the red 3.
JJ, I'm sure you was watching Shane's semi-final somewhere. Obviously, me and Scott was in the booth. Shane played some real tidy shots, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. He kind of smelled a little blood, which is very rare with Ko Ping-chung, and capitalized fully. That was a funny one. I think it was the speed on the cue ball that he was always worried about. And you'll tend to lean towards what helps the cue ball, and a little thick was it there. I think he kind of likes the combination. You know, sometimes even though it's tough, it sits right in front of you, and you just, your gut tells you like it.
Shane Van Boening is 40 years of age now, JJ. David Al-Kaidi won the European Open at 44, 45. He's doing it for us old guys.
Yeah. Some of us older than them, of course, but yeah, it's nice to see. And Shane, some would guess older, right? Not by the way he looks, of course. He's still a young, fit man, but just been around dominating so long. But he still wants more. He went for that combination. I think he just wasn't in love with any other shot, so maybe just couldn't hold back.
JJ, well, this final is still in the early stages. I might ask you a couple of questions. Do you think we can see someone in the 50s win a World Nineball Tour event? Not so much one of the, the lower ranking events. I mean, one of the, the big ones, the one where, we're at and, the full team are here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think You know, it takes one of those former really world champions or kind of Hall of Fame players to do it. I think there's just a few of them that maybe qualify for 50 and over that are playing the tour. But, I mean, if you couldn't see Ralph Souquet having a week and, you know, where he breaks and gets shots, gets a little confidence, maybe a few big wins over some big names. Okay, something we didn't see, even though it was difficult. The first 2 shots, that being the opening 2 and then the 3 there jacked up. But I'd have to think about a few things as far as that player you were talking about.
Yeah, well, Mika Immonen is 50. Obviously, he's had some health issues, and you know, we wish Mika a speedy recovery, and we hope to see him back on the circuit soon.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's a guy that when he's back, he's going to be even more motivated, I think, you know, to try and play as much pool as possible, and then, of course, being the champion he is, he's going to try and win.
How about that for a kick shot, by the way?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Speed all the way. Funny one. You got to hit right before the side. You couldn't make it and scratch cross corner. Oh, he went past the side. I thought that was a harder way to do it maybe, but still was difficult either way.
It's strange, you know, Shane played so well in the semi-finals. He's had a couple of opportunities here. He's missed a couple of balls. I'm not saying they were easy, you know, more timing shots than anything, but all of a sudden, from one match to the next, it's like you can just go from, you know, playing unbelievable to looking a little bit worrying out there.
Yeah, you know, if you dissect those 2 shots he has missed, and he doesn't miss many kicks either, by the way, but both of them had a lot going on with the speed. You know, jacked up on the 3, awkwardly stretched. Tell you another thing Shane will win this year is that green jacket for the Hall of Fame. That's a no-brainer as much as any in the history of pool. That will be a night to remember.
10.
All right, a little funny here. Okay. Had to kind of draw stun it a little bit. Still a lot going on in this rack. I don't know if the 7 passes the 9. That would give him more options. That's got to go a bit. Yeah, it's not going to be what he wants, and it's what you don't want as far as you don't mind being behind it with a little more angle. And not saying he can't move the ball, but anytime you have to get into it, that's where the line of the cue ball and the speed control can be very touchy, let's say.
10.
So is this just a safety without a doubt here on the 7? I think the double and triple check is just seeing where the 7's going. Is it going towards the point on the left middle? This is where, you know, you got to make a decision. I think I personally probably kick at this fairly light, just trying to make it to keep accuracy on the kick. I like my chances. I might have to, you know, bury a long 8-ball behind it, but I don't know if I just rip at this one.
Yeah, where the 7 ball is, you think Shane would be nailed on to hit the ball. Could also scratch.
So more errors in this first rack than we saw in the entire semifinal. Tough errors. I mean, nothing easy, that's for sure, but
Well, it's Copigny who wins the first rack of this final. SVB, a couple of half chances. Nothing to worry about just yet.
Yeah, I try to keep my eye on that other semifinal. It looked like Copigny played real solid, and then maybe a couple little mistakes at the end, really trying to shut the door.
Yeah, a little bit similar to kind of this semi-final in the sense of Filler. He had a chance to put an 8-ball along the bottom rail to get to 3-2, and he missed it and kind of never looked back, really.
You're talking about Filler?
Yeah, Filler, yeah.
But did you see right before, though? Copigny missed the 8-ball right in front of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
The same exact game. That's whenever it was 3-1. And I was like, oh, that's a huge mistake. Filler's not going to miss this ball. Didn't even think about Filler missing the ball. And Copigny played a nice safety behind it. Got the first shot, did get the win, but I thought a very pivotal game there in that semifinal. All right, there's the break I've been seeing more of this week from Copigny. Very good spreads along with making the one. Looks like the cue ball got behind the pink. And where do you push out here? Is he pushing out to a snooker or maybe a rail first on the 2 here? I don't see the point in rolling out to a jump from that angle. Probably get it back.
Yeah, you heard the referee, who have done a fantastic job this week. Kind of a thankless job. Say option Mr. Van Boening. That's because he'll either play this shot or give it back if he doesn't like it, so he'll weigh up his options.
Tell you, this is a bit more cut than it appears, I think. This rail first could bleed the cue ball over behind the purple. Doesn't have to sell out. You don't have to hang this ball. Going for the rail first for the lower left corner. And really, I mean, Copigny, considering where he was at, wouldn't mind getting this back. I think he said, I gotta go. Shane, you don't hear much when he's playing a match, but I'm pretty sure that's what he just said to himself.
Must be tough.
Yeah, but I do like the shot. Like I said, considering all things where Copigny was at, this has got to look like a very doable play. Now, I like maybe going for the make versus just kicking across it, but I think going for the make, you're not going to hang the 2, and you have a chance for that same safety behind the purple. And you better hope he gets him on the rail, keep him off the bank maybe.
Yeah, JJ spotted some kind of cue ball over here, didn't he? As well as I'm sure Shane knew as well. It was a bit of a percentage move from Shane. Just hoping he wasn't hooked when he comes back to the table.
10.
Gotta believe he's playing safe here.
Gotta be careful here. Where the 2 ball's gone, didn't want that, did he?
I tell you, course, I'm not the best with the jump cue, but the kick cross corner, I think you can manipulate the 9. Kick softly, probably make it, don't leave a shot. Of course, I think it's hard to pass up on the jump here, but cue ball's going to be moving. Oh, how you rolling? How you rolling? But like you said, Shane didn't really put the object ball in play how he wanted. It's funny, me and a friend of mine during the semifinal, of course, my buddy's a pool player, but he was really amazed at how well these pros control the object ball. It was so impressive. It's a big part of it with these jump cues in play.
Hoping the 4-ball stops quick so the 3 doesn't go, just to make life more awkward.
Yeah, I think the 3 did open up. It's not easy, but I think it does play. Ball in hand, you want to just kind of stun draw right at it. You don't mind being a hair above it, but I want to fall a little behind this 3 ball with just a portion of the pocket. I think he'd like to draw this a touch. It may be a pretty big stretch. If he just stops the cue ball, I'm not sure.
10.
Nothing easy. The 5-6, the 7 across, the 8 up top. Suspect he draws this cue ball back above the 6. Maybe on the line it's on now.
Love the way he gears himself up for the big shot.
10.
Pretty funny really, JJ, because Copigny finished 3rd in the league and his younger brother, he actually finished top of the league. He was 2 points in front of Copigny.
Yeah. Well, they play to get to this spot just because, you know, it only takes one little turn of the ball here and there to really separate the guys by 2 or 3 points. I think it's a pretty fun format overall. That was a tricky shot there. He made look easy. He's so good with that partially elevated cue. You know, it's that one in between that kind of is unsettling to a lot of players.
Yeah, this is a fantastic start for the Masters champion as he wins the opening couple of racks. Yeah, it's quite funny. Copigny is in the final. If he goes on to win the final, I wonder if his brother will be saying, listen, I finished above you in the league.
Not sure how they say jelly roll in Mandarin, but a little donut. That's a long ways from now, though. He still needs 5 more games, SVP, to break here, game 3.
Dry break for one of the best breakers we've ever seen. Let's have a look where the 1 ball went. Just a bit low.
Yeah, the cue ball came above the 9. I don't know. Didn't seem like too thick, really, but I can see an edge of this. Does he kick at it instead? Not the greatest of paths for the 1 to escape. Does have the 4 and the 6 to maybe hold the cue ball behind. And I wonder if he's trying to really send the 1 more towards the 7, maybe? I don't know. I'd like to try and use the 4 here versus the 6. I think the 6 could give up a shot for sure. I mean, just try to use the back rail period. He had the 8 there as well. Looks like pretty good stuff from Coping-Yi. I think the 7's got part of the rail first cut off as well. Depends. He may, if he can get some of the ball, he may just take a chance edging the 1 and running the cue ball back around table off that side rail, but may see him elevate the cue and try and go for the make.
How's it going to finish? Well, it's going to finish good for Coping-Yi. He's got work to do to get on this 2 ball. This angle's quite steep.
Yeah, I think if he really pulls it, though, he can still come between the 3-9 now. You got to be not afraid to apply some left along with that low, but he's going to try and stun 2 rails between the 7-5. As long as he doesn't hit the 5 full, still has a good chance of coming away with the position.
Was always going to be tough to get on that 2 ball. Just coming round to see if he can flick off this side of the ball. Doesn't look like it. Looks like the corner pocket may be in the way. Just trying to bank the 2 ball up onto the right side rail. Use the 9 ball and the 5. It's never easy to get the pace right though, and that's where he's failed.
About to say Shane may go for this bank and play from underneath the 3. I don't know about you, Carl, but one of my worst shots when I played, just edging the ball over like that. Of course, that one wasn't that tough, but it seems like he always hits it well.
Yeah, I agree, JJ. It's easier to hit it thick or thin. Good hit.
Gonna kiss again. Oh, looky here. Shootable combination, but nothing easy.
This cue ball needs to slow down. I think it's shown its face a little bit.
Yeah, if he's left the bottom of the two, pretty easy return here. Don't know if he's left that bottom left edge of the two. Maybe he has.
Yeah, that's the bottom edge JJ was talking about. That allowed Ko Pin Yi to get the cue ball back over to the right hand side rail. Didn't look at the ball going in the pocket. This was tight. This is not the shot SVB played, surely, JJ.
No, I thought it was a little frustration when he was elevating the cue. I didn't realize he had to do that to get at the two. Certainly wanting to get some separation, but he'll take it.
Well, I know one thing. He's the best player in the world when he has to pot a ball hard.
Is he ripping this one cross side? I think it's hard for him not to shoot at it.
10.
He's playing the safety.
What a good safety. Using the 8 ball as a blocker. Ko can get the jump cue out and get the guaranteed hit. He can also go at this ball off a couple of rails, but this is the thing, they don't mind pulling the jump cue out now.
Yeah, he's going for the upper left. Easy to maybe draw this cue ball towards the lower right. All right, double kissed it. He's going to need some help here. SVB's going to have an opening.
Yeah, had to go forward with a cue ball to get it back out.
I guess a high ball. He goes by the 8 easily. That one, as Grady used to say, wiped its feet on the way in. The 5 ball.
It's an interesting rack, this one. Things was not quite going Shane's way for a large part of it. Stayed patient and he got his chance. Cue ball comes nicely for the 9. Nice and straight. This is just where you want to be. SVB has got his final underway. He's got his first rack on the board. We're going to take a short break. It's Coping 2, SVB 1.
Well, hello everyone. We're back. Coping need a break in game number 4. This is the final of the 2024 PLP. It's Shane Van Boening. He's playing. I'm Jeremy Jones. We had a switch out in the booth. Scott Frost with us now.
Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you, Jeremy. I thought that was a telling moment in the last rack, the third rack, when Shane played the safety versus going at the bank. It tells me he's still really bearing down, which is good. Copigny going to give him a lot of trouble.
Yeah, got some movement on the 9 there. Almost lost the cue ball. Almost lost the 9 in the corner. No shot on the 2.
Push call.
Tricky push out here.
Yeah, but they're always tricky, it seems. But anytime the 2 ball's wide open or next to a lot of balls, those extremes there, that's when it's most tricky, I think.
Yeah, and close to a pocket, right, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah. All the balls open as well, so no real protection anywhere. I think that's all he could do, really. I mean, it's just...
Yeah. I think I've got to pass this up, but he's not going to. He's just struggled this week. I think if there was any part of his game that struggled this week, it was the jump shot. So now's the time to knock one in.
Yeah, well, he's got to get a little steam on the cue ball, too, to escape the 6.
Right. Well, now's the time to knock one in, Jeremy, and knock one in. He's done. The crowd likes it. He's got to get out.
Absolutely, and I think really he just was saying to himself exactly what you said. Hey, I've had a few of these get away. I fouled on a few of these, believe it or not. So he's just kind of, man-to-man with himself and say, hey, let's go. Big shot here.
Absolutely. He heard the 10-second warning in the background.
Yeah, I think the lady at the top of your screen may have started to enter the arena and just got his eye for a moment.
Yeah, and that was a big shot, but the cue ball's overrun its mark.
Yeah, and if the 4 does go by the 8 in the lower right, it is super tight. And you can see maybe it doesn't by that Little tap at the chalk on the table.
Can you cut this in the middle and run into the 7? Too thick?
It's got to be. Is he ducking here or just? This would be cold-blooded.
I think he can get it, Jeremy.
Well, he can get at it. I don't know if he can make it, but that was one heck of a shot, really. And I hadn't really seen the crazy eyes all week from Shane, and I've seen him twice in this rack right here, so that's probably good signs.
Yeah, and what Jeremy's alluding to, you've probably heard him talk about it before. He gets this look in his eyes, and they're fixated. It's almost like he's got a blank stare.
Yeah, they get real wide, and it's almost like he's taking in a bunch of oxygen.
Well, I hope they stay wide because this is steep. He's going to have to probably play this to the middle. Extremely clean, Jeremy. It's a good sign for the American.
Oh, it's really nice. Center of the pocket, really the side of the pocket you want to move the cue ball easy. Yeah, those other pro players outside the 16 that was here at the PLP. Learn something from these guys here. No coincidence how great they're playing. Steadily training, 2-2s or score. You just wonder how they pull the trigger in the final so well with so much pressure, and that's what it is. Just all that time spent away from the finals, you know, preparing for these types of moments.
Yeah, no doubt they're on center stage. They're always on center stage, but like Jeremy says, and, you know, Carl and I have also alluded to it, the practice hours that Shane's put in this week alone tells you how much all these other guys, especially the top 16, how much practice they put in.
Shane did win the lag, so again, he will break in game number 5. It's a race to 7 here in our final. 20K on top. He's missed the 1 again, and the difference with Shane's other break in this one is he just doesn't get as much movement making extra balls as like when he crushes them. And I'll tell you, if he breaks and misses that one more time, Scott, we may see him really unload on the next 2 or 3 breaks.
Yeah.
Can't be stubborn, right?
No, you've got to change something up. And I think that that's a possibility that might be coming. You can almost feel it.
Yeah, this is bread and butter here, just a little running spin. Speed control should be easy with the 2 open. Still not taking it for granted.
I will mention that Shane isn't using his break cue anymore. He's breaking with his playing cue.
Yeah, I think he likes the leather tip for the most part when it comes to the cut break. This could have got a little more awkward over a ball, but landed pretty decently here. I like drawing this versus forward.
Yeah, you get a good look at how he addresses the cue ball. Yeah, still a little work to do, Jeremy. I mean, looks straightforward, but 5 to the 6. He's just got to fall good on the 5.
Yeah, I'd keep it simple there in the center of the table. Just come across here, get a nice 1 or 2 rail angle on the 4, whichever you prefer. You can kind of open this with spin with no problem, or you can come twice. I like just 1 rail myself. I don't like putting extra speed on the slick table and let it bend. I don't even think he needs really much spin, really. Just kind of float out. This looks a little thinner, though.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same thing as soon as they went to that angle. A lot thinner than I had initially thought.
Yeah, now with the 2 rails off the thin angle, he's coming into the line, so absolutely correct. Just a little stun, got to command the speed. Looks pretty good. Don't want to be really short and have the 8 come into play.
He and his brother Jeremy shoot that shot as good as anybody on planet Earth.
Yeah, what I like about them is, when they stun the ball, they don't really change their stroke much. Where you see a lot of players, they get a little more rigid with the stun shot, or they just basically do it with tip position, which is, I think, absolutely ideal.
Yeah, well noted. Very well noted. 3 balls away from taking a 3-2 lead.
Just got to avoid the 9. A little bit of spin. Yeah, so we'll pay attention. This is going to get us a 3-2 Copini breaking, but just watch the next time SVB breaks the balls. We'll see if he picks up the speed at all.
Nice out by Copini. Yeah, Jeremy, you pointed it out. He's a man of a million faces, isn't he, Shane Van Boening?
Yeah, he's amazing. A couple years ago, went up to South Dakota and hung out with him for like 5 days, I think it was. And of course, we didn't do a whole lot of pool, I'll be honest. We were on the lake fishing a bit, but those faces on the lake are something else. There's a Team Europe over there. Pia Filler also enjoying the end of the action here. Not sure where all these guys are playing next exactly, but of course the Whirlpool Masters will have your characters here from the PLP, or most of them, let's say.
Well, in the beginning of this match, Co led 2-0, and now looking to do the same with a 2-game lead if he can get a break and run here.
I was about to say, I think the 1's going to hit high, and I'll tell you why. I looked at the rack, and the rack was a little cocked, what would be to his left, which promote the 1 ball going a little bit high.
Yeah, Jeremy, and we've thought off and on some of the times this week that rack's been turned just a fraction. I think it dictated which side Shane wanted to break from several different matches.
Yeah, I think Jason Shaw's one that looks at that quite often.
And you get a look here. I don't know that the 2 passes in the same pocket as the 1.
This is one you just got to command the speed, I think. Is he trying to go into the 2?
Yeah, one tricky shot here.
Good thing coming across, above the 6 is you're not going to go with a ton of speed, but very hard to have a whole lot of bad things happen, that's for sure. If you go underneath at the speed, you get away from you, maybe you glance the 6. I think it's got to be into the 6 maybe, or above. Yeah, that speed there I liked. I mean, just not a whole lot could go wrong.
Yeah, and that's okay. He's got a big pocket in the right middle and partially elevated over the 7, maybe all the way. But now just get this down steady and still everything opens up. Well done, Jeremy.
Yeah, very good. First 2 shots a lot of times gets these guys in line, and then when the rack's very available like this one, it's going to be hard not to have a 3-3 score here soon.
And talking about South Dakota, Lake Pactola. It's SVB's home lake. Loves the lake trout out there. I did also spend a little time with him, and the man is tough to get off the water once he's on it.
Yeah, we went to Pactola and another lake in the Black Hills there, and both of them were pretty awesome, I'll tell you.
Oh, beautiful area. If you haven't been to the Black Hills, you should definitely take a trip.
It's like every other fisherman I've ever been around. They think they know something. Just like the pool players, but these two here know how to run out. I know that. So just pay attention here. Make sure you don't fall kind of thick, funny, to where the 9's a problem of some sort. Just probably hold the angle. Make sure you get above.
Very aware of that. Looking better, Shane.
Yeah, well, he played great in his last match, and those 2 mistakes in the first game. I mean, the 2 ball was very difficult to get on the 3, very tough shot. Then the jacked up shot on the 3 ball itself also was very difficult, the way he was stretched. So
Yeah, I guess I'm just talking about his body language early in this match when he was trailing 2-0. He was in between banking the ball or playing safe, and I think he made the right decision.
yeah, 3-3's our score. Stay tuned. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final of the 2024 Premier League Pool, brought to you, of course, with the World Nineball Tour and Matchroom Multi-Sport. You can see Shane looking at that rack. It's been a great week, 8 days now, actually, here at Aura and Jason Shaw's Pool Room, US 1 Billiards in West Haven, Connecticut.
See if he puts a little more speed into it, Jeremy Jones.
No, stuck to his guns, just like the percentage played he played on that safety. And this too may squeeze in the side. I think it does. I think he'll go for this out, trying to hold the cue ball if the 2 does play between the 5 and 7.
Yeah, and this tells us it does play in the side if he's measuring this up to the 3.
Love to have the angle to shove between or even into the face of the 7 here, which he may be doing, actually.
Oh, he's going to get the rub he needed. Well struck as well. Boy, this opens everything up, Double J.
Yeah, absolutely. And he could have stuck for the window, but I think the gamble here, much better. Very strategic gamble at that. Got a hint of an angle, I think, where the side pocket, not much of a problem drawing the cue ball. He can play short side on the 6, so just don't get a missable 5. No reason. Got a little awkward.
Yeah, could he come below this and back up? I think he just wants to punch out. I don't know. He's got to avoid the 7. Can he draw above it?
That's what I would look at, drawing above it. If there's any worry of hitting the 7, that's, yeah, just like that. So quality stuff from both players, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we don't expect anything less. Big time.
Yeah, you don't expect it, but still got to do it, right? And that's what's most impressive. Just keep on keeping on. I like that. I like him just not trying to get funny on the 7 because, you know, it's pretty important to get on the 8. This ball did go a ways, but I think he's okay.
Yeah, well, Jeremy, he's led the charge for the majority of this event. He's looking to take his first lead in the final. Called his extension here.
Yeah, it's just smart not to hear the 10, right, while you're down on the ball. Have it. SVB with his first lead in this final at 4-3. It is a race to 7, alternate break. So you'll see Kopi need a break in game number 8. Tell you, I mean, it could have been any 2 of these 4 in the last, and I totally think they did play the best. The 4 that made it into our semifinals, Josh Filler and Ko-Ping Chung, along with our 2 finalists.
And a little different look there. And there it is. That's the look that we all see. The crinkle.
Well, I think he truly enjoys the competition with the best players. And, you know, that's what he gets up for. I think the table itself is another thing that he loves. Tough table. It's, you know, demanding in all ways. And he just likes to win, that guy.
Yes, he does. He likes the way these tables play. He's mentioned it all week. Big break for Ko-Ping Yi. 9 with a lot of action. What's the 7 going to do? The 2's going to play, I believe, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know if he has all the pocket. He may have to use the rail a little bit, but that's a little the norm on this shot anyways. Didn't seem too disgruntled, so he'll take it.
Yeah, due to the position of the 3, a little more natural. They're running English on the 2. The go in English, as we call it.
It's a little funny, though. I mean, you know, is it the kind of shot you really want to stun back? You'd like to ease this in with a little spin. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a touchy shot.
The outside spin helps that ball.
I think a drag shot really is. There's still players that use it, but I don't think it's quite as used as much as it was years ago.
4 passes in the lower right without any problems. we are going to be treated to a special one here tonight.
Just checking. Can't really go forward with the 7 there, so he's just looking where to draw the cue ball back. He's going to have a little angle going away, but one he probably just draws the cue ball off of. Good thing for him, the 7's really playable. So doesn't need a certain little angle on the 6. Probably just stay away from straight in.
Yeah, if he draws his 2 rails, he's got to come pretty deep. Come back 4th 1 rail is also probably the better option if you can get into it enough, and they're great at that.
Oh yeah, straight draw here. Hardly any outside at all.
Oh, he spun it.
Yeah, that was surprising a little bit.
Yeah, flirted with the left middle a little bit.
Yeah, probably a little amped at the moment. He was starting to settle, but SVB came alive, so the blood's flowing.
Such a class player, Koping and his brother. Got the extension out. Long bridge. This is another one, Jeremy, you just get the sense it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, no reason to roll the ball now. Go ahead and pull the ball 2 rails. Keeping that nice aggressive swing. Yeah, beyond that first game, it's been just clinical from both players.
What a week it has been. These fans, something else. See a lot of the same faces every day, a lot of new faces, diehards coming in. Can't imagine the experience they've had, because the experience I've had has been second to none.
Pedigree in this field was pretty incredible. So many world champions, junior world champions, U.S. Open champions. Just so many future Hall of Famers as well. None more than the guy's going to get it this year. The guy breaking the balls turned 40, so the green jacket will be in the closet by Christmas. That's a little better. 2's going to lay on the rail, so some decisions to make here in game number 9.
Yeah, just got the flick on the bottom of the 9 again.
Tell you what, I don't think he's past shooting at it, really, and going up a little past the side for the cut on the 3. I know it's a tough shot, but what else is he doing here? Banking it, maybe just bumping it up past the 9. This is the cross-side bank is doable, but you have the cue ball on the rail, very much a scratch in the upper right corner unless you just really warp it.
Yeah.
Then it becomes very missable. So.
Yeah, you definitely couldn't roll the cross side. Cue ball's directly to the top right. Warping it would bend the cue ball out, but then you lose control.
So you going behind 9 here? Hitting this full, banking it towards the 6, 7, 8? He played the soft one.
Well, this is not going to end up well.
No, I don't know how he avoided the side. I mean, the corner with the cue ball, really, but hit both points a couple times.
And you had to wonder if he thought he could escape that top right corner.
I'll tell you what he did. He put a heck of a stroke on it just to get the top English through the 2 to get to the side rail and have a chance to avoid the scratch as he did. Good hit. Very good.
Yeah, it was very good. Ko quickly to the table.
Going behind the 5 here, Scott. 1 rail.
Yeah, I wondered if he's trying to measure up to get behind the pink, but I don't think it's thick enough. I think he's going to catch the pink going that route, so behind the 5, probably a better percentage.
Yeah, this is really tricky. Is he trying to, well, he's hitting a high ball, so I got to believe it's behind the 5. Oh, no, he got it by there nicely.
Yeah, we couldn't really tell from this angle, Jeremy. I mean, just the way he kept measuring the cue told me that he wanted to get behind the pink. Yeah. He's kind of got him cut off. He's going to have to warp this, Jeremy.
You can't hit 2 rails between the 7-8, maybe?
Yeah, elevated, though.
This may be on the 6.
I believe he might have gotten a roll. It's close. No, he did, but he didn't necessarily get a roll because he hit the pro side of the 3 and made a great shot. A little fortunate, though.
Yeah, the last 2 kicks a little fortunate, but it pays to hit them. That's what happens. You know, that's why these players stay aggressive, because they know. Oh, wow, you wouldn't see that very often. Seen it a few times this week, Shane, a couple times actually, but don't know about, maybe the shot clock got him a little bit there. You saw him had both cues, 1 in each hand, switched him a couple times.
Yeah, and immediately after the ref said 10, he pulled the trigger.
Ooh. That one caught a little thick to the pocket.
You see there where he pointed his cue. Yeah, this is a little steeper than I think he wanted to be, but getting over the ball very easily. And SVB, he's on the Bumblebee to take the lead.
And he has 5-4 is our score, approaching that number 7. We'll be back shortly. It's table one, the only one in action. Copigny and SVB. This is the final of the 2024 PLP Premier League pool. Copigny, and it's in a battle here. Trails 5-4, is breaking the balls. We're racing to 7. This is our final match.
One down, got to kiss low, Jeremy. What's the 2 going to do? I think it's covered by the pink. Boy, hit these good as well, right? A little thin, maybe.
Yeah, that 2 ball spinning up the table. I think you're going to see a kick safety here from Copigny, kind of trying to take charge in what is game number 10. Been really good in this department all week. Needs a good one now.
Yeah.
Great
hit, though.
Yeah, he wanted the snooker, though, and that angle fools you sometimes. Don't really need as much spin when you're back behind it like that.
Shane entertaining the carom, possibly just taking a look. Well, taking a bigger look now. If he's looking at the 2 up this direction. It's a funny position he's in here.
Well, I think he was looking at the bank on the 2 and maybe the kiss on the 9. We'll see if he jacks up the back end.
Do you think he has to jack up?
I don't know. To make it unless he warps it. Yeah. I think he'll hit the right side rail with the 9 otherwise. Meanwhile. Wow, what a hit. What a hit by SVB.
And the crowd absolutely into it. SVB swallows the 9 with the carom shot.
Look where he put the 2, by the way, in a nice spot. So, you know, they call Efren the magician, but I'll tell you what, SVB can put some shots together as well, and he's put himself on the hill with that one. Now he's got 2 breaks to win the tournament.
Yeah, and it looks like, right, Jeremy, he used a little bit of a stun high where the cue ball just reacted correctly and went forward. Must have laid a lot more natural than it looked. He overcut the 2 a little bit because it went up behind the pink.
Oh, I think he was playing it up behind the pink. I don't think he was playing the bank at all. When he started measuring at the end, yeah, I think it was totally to try and get the 2 on the back rail, knowing the cue ball is going to go forward towards the 6. Yeah, he put a little left English, just really caught the 9 right on the numbers. So, again, now 2 breaks to win the match. Rack looks pretty straight to me. He's going to switch sides.
Yeah, so that dictates where he's breaking from clearly all week.
He's hit these nice. Cue ball's going to come clean with the 2 available. And looky here, really one big shot it looks like, even though there's 6 or 7 to clear. Looks like one big shot on the 2 ball to be the man, which he has been the man most of the week, so why not finish it?
Yeah, Jeremy, one big shot over and back, anywhere out in the center, really. He can afford to be a little steep on the 3, the pink 4, right in front of the middle. Oh, there was no question, but
Careful.
There is a question here.
Careful. Trouble. Wow, did not expect that. I did expect him to maybe thump it a little bit, but just didn't get the draw on the ball that he wanted. Just kind of slid and then took a little of the left English. Wow. I would have been more shocked on the miss of the 2-ball than the snooker behind the pink.
Yeah, no doubt. He's going for the jump here. And this is tight. Tough, too, because he's a little sideways on it. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes this after everything else. He's got it down, Double J. And he's 5 balls away from winning the PLP.
Yeah, and he kind of said something funny to himself. It seemed like a couple little gestures. Love to know what those were. All right, just a hair of check here. Don't ever hit it hard enough to get to the right corner pocket on the bottom. Just kind of coast it down.
Yeah, wants a small bounce, right?
Yeah, I thought it'd be more towards the center coming, but that's okay.
Yeah, just a little distance between the cue ball and the purple 5.
Well, he's not going to settle, though. Shane will hit this with low outside, I think, and draw the ball and create a little angle coming off.
Yeah, of course. Just easier to miss the ball with this distance. He's not going to miss it after what he's done so far.
Well, he wants to stay aggressive and nice on the 7. Look at this ball keep going. Wow.
Over-amping.
Well, just like one of his heroes, he used to be his biggest, maybe still is. Him and Earl are the best at these 2 shots. From behind on a thin cut. That's nice. Had Shane having a few words with the fans.
Well, in my opinion, Jeremy, he's played harder, put more hours in all week than anybody else in the building, and he's going to enjoy these last 2 balls, and so are we.
Yeah, Shane, just simple. Come across if he wants. Just pull it back. He's going to get a little steeper than he may have wanted, but Shane, that's one thing he doesn't mind, it not being easy. That's why he puts in the work. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hats off, of course, to Copini and all of our contestants, but it was Captain America, Shane Van Boening, that takes it down, and in pure class, by the way.
Yeah, Jeremy, you can't be any happier for the man. Did it in West Haven, Connecticut, Jason Shaw's pool room. Kopin Yi, like you said, pure class. Congratulations to SVB. Jeremy, I enjoyed working with you and Carl all week. You can take it away from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thank you to Arad, Jason Shaw for being great hosts. Of course, the referees for doing an incredible job. Our players all week. David Alcady getting that W in his last try. Alban Ocean was a fan of that. But we're gonna have the presentation now, and Carl Boys is gonna do his thing. Let's send it over to Carl.
Thank you, JJ. First of all, what a final, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get a round of applause? Kopin Yi, current Masters champion. That was a tough final. How are you feeling right now? Your English has got a little better, so I'm expecting big things now.
I just want to say I'm feeling bad now.
He said he's feeling bad right now. Why, pal? You got second.
I'm feeling good. He played very good. So I also play good, so I happy.
Well, there's always one plus. You finished, you did better than your baby brother.
Brother, there. Just call income.
I said you did better. You got further.
Yeah.
Now he understands the joke.
Now I don't understand.
Right, Cole, listen. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kopin Yi. Shane Van Boening, Premier League champion. You just keep winning.
Yeah, that's what happened when I'm playing pool nonstop, and I hadn't been fishing, so that.
Shane, Every time I walked in the building, you was in the corner playing on that practice table. You practice like a maniac.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do, you know, all my life and, you know, my whole career for the last 20 years. Doesn't matter what tournament I play in, I'm always hitting balls.
232 racks you've won to win this tournament. Is it one of the toughest tournaments you've ever won?
I mean, it was a tough tournament, really. A really tough tournament. You know, you got to play a lot of matches, and you know, you got to play a lot of pool. The 183 matches total in the whole tournament. I mean, it's a lot of pool.
Shane, you're 40 years of age now. I'm 41. You're doing it for the old guys, buddy.
I'm not too sure what to say about that.
Listen, give it up for Shane Van Boening. What a player, what a guy. Now it's time for the trophy presentation. Please put your hands together for Matchroom Multisport CEO Emily Fraser and your runner-up, Coping Yi. Now Emily will give the trophy. Your 2024 Premier League champion, SVB, Shane Van Boening.
Emily. Thank you very much. Yeah, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you can see SVB is our champion. Crowd's pretty happy with an American winning, but they were fans for all the players. Yeah, you can see Emily Fraser, who delivered the hardware. I don't think SVB, he's won all kinds of titles. He got that World Nineball title not long ago. Now he's got a Premier League pool title. I think he's really gearing up for what will be an historical landmark World Nineball Championships later on in Saudi, joined again by Scott Frost. Scott, the fans, I said, were happy, of course, an American winning, but the fans were incredible to all the players all week, and I think some of the players got some new fans as well.
Yeah, including myself, the fans got a lesson this week in pure class as far as the player and how they act. What a great event. Really, really special event. I hope we can make it back here, Jeremy. Obviously, icing on the cake that SVB wins. For us Americans, that being said, all these guys played spectacular this week.
Yeah, they absolutely did. We saw some craziness with so many matches. The 7-ball that moved backwards on Mario He. A couple 3 fouls we don't see very often. Looks like Shane's gathering up those pool balls.
Yeah, so, he is.
Yeah, take those home as a little memento from this week.
And the CEO right there, Emily Fraser. And then Erwin, the photographer, been doing a lot of work.
Yeah, maybe Shane, you know, I think Filler might still be the odds-on favorite, but you never know with what he's been doing. Maybe Shane's the odds-on favorite for the World Nineball.
For the World Nineball, yeah, it's very interesting. There's going to be a lot of talk about that. 250 big ones up top out there in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting. Matchroom stirring things up.
Yeah. I hope, like you said, we do get to come back here to West Haven. It's been a great week. I've been to Connecticut in probably 25 years, something like that. But yeah, the Northeast was nice this time, and maybe a little warmer weather next time. You never know, but either way, again, Jason Shaw, Aura Shaw, Jason's and Aura's, of course, Aura's parents being such great hosts. If you're ever in the area, it's definitely a pool room to come by and see, and the food's incredible. The people are even better, and You can get to mess around with Eagle Eye a little bit and see his trophy case over there as you walk in. Pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, and also, right, Jeremy, I mean, we need to thank everybody that's tuned in. I know that it's been a long week. You probably tuned in to the YouTube channel as well as this channel. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, well, again, yeah, good call there, Scott, with the fans out abroad watching, the fans here. For all the players and the staff here at US1 Billiards and the staff with Matchroom, we want to thank y'all. And more World Nineball Tour coming soon. Have a good night.